I don't think there's any Newcastle United fan in the world who isn't excited about what we can do in the summer, who we're going to bring in, what calibre of player, how much we're going to spend, etc. And judging by what Eddie Howe has said this morning, he is ready to spend. And, he's also defended the current squad as well. So I don't think there'll be a mass exodus. Certainly the players that he's mentioned that maybe he wants to keep at the club are a little bit surprising. And we've also got details of Ivan Toney's betting records, which when he was here, are slightly surprising. So we'll have a look at that as well. This is the Daily News. Hi everybody and welcome to your Friday edition of the Daily News on the Toon Review YouTube channel. As normal, guys, if you do enjoy today's video, please do give it a thumbs up. It's very important that we keep those likes coming in. And if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button. It is free to do so. Come and be part of this amazing community. And also hit that notification bell, which will let you know when we go live or we upload any videos. As you can see, very, very close now to 20,000. And with your help, we can get there really soon. So thank you in advance for that. Right, Eddie Howe's press conference was this morning. And he seemed a lot more laid back than he normally does, to be honest. Very happy with the way the season's gone. Obviously, it is now Champions League confirmed. But what type of game will Eddie go out for on Sunday? Will he go to attack? Will he go to win the game? Or is it a question of giving some of our fringe players an opportunity? Well, he started off by saying, I'm feeling good. It's been a hectic few days. For me, it's on to planning and preparing for next season straight away. It's an incredible achievement, and I'm so pleased we were able to do it in front of our supporters. Now, there's no doubt about it. When Eddie, walked around on that lap of honour, he was absolutely ecstatic. We don't often see much emotion from Newcastle's manager. It's more Jason Tindall, Mad Dog, who we see the real raw emotion from. Eddie keeps quite calm at the majority of times. But doing that lap of honour, he got right behind it. He was, bigging up the fans and raising his fists and everything, which was fantastic to see. But a point he made there was obviously planning and preparing for next season straight away. He's already looking at that. And now, normally what we've said about Eddie Howe is sometimes when he's in his press conferences, he won't talk about anything what's ahead because he only thinks about this in particular game that we're going to be playing. Very different press conference this time around because a lot of it was based on next season and preparing and what he's going to do in the transfer market and things like that. So you think in the back of your mind, this Chelsea game is a dead rubber. Is Eddie treating it like a dead rubber? Is he going to play some of the fringe players? Now, he did go on to say on the squad for selection for Chelsea, he says, I don't think we've got anyone left to rest. The end of the season has come at a good time for us because we would have been really stretched. Joe Linton and Manquillo will miss the game. We also have the other injuries. We're stretched, but it will give us the chance to have a look at one or two other things. So Manquillo being out is for me quite a surprise. I was expecting him to start on Sunday, if I'm openly honest, alongside Matt Targett on the other full-back position, but it doesn't seem that way. Manquillo, for me, possibly will be leaving in the summer. I did do a video yesterday, if you can remember, that there's the 3 or 4 European clubs that are interested in signing Manquillo over the summer. So this could have been his swan song. This could have been a goodbye for Manquillo. But unfortunately, it's not going to be. He's injured and he's not going to take part. Joe Linton, of course, we know didn't feel good in the warm-up last week for the Leicester game. Told Eddie Howe and the training staff that he wasn't fit, which was very brave of Joe Linton to do so, given it was the last home game of the season. He had been itching to be on the pitch, but he won't be involved. We know that Willock's not going to be involved. So we are stretched. There's no doubt about it, but it's going to give other players an opportunity. Now, how many of these fringe players that Eddie Howe gives opportunities to, we will just have to wait and see on Sunday. It's not life or death, this, against Chelsea. Yes, of course, it would be nice to win the game. Of course, it would be nice to finish third in the Premier League. But listen, when we started off this campaign, nobody thought we'd finish where we are, either third or fourth. So for me, wherever we finish, it's been an absolutely magnificent season. And third or fourth, let it be. I don't really care, to be honest. There's only a couple of million in prize money. Now, I say only a couple of million. I say that as if it's back pocket money. But you look at PIF and you think, it is. But, third or fourth, I don't really care. I still want to beat Chelsea. It will be very nice to go to Stamford Bridge and win the game. I think Chelsea need to do something in front of the home fans to give them a little bit of optimism over the summer. We know that Pochettino is coming in, but God, they are rank bad right now. Rank bad. But we're going to go into the game. There's no pressure on us. We can play football. We can play our own game. And we just see how it goes. But we are, as Eddie said there, very, very stretched. He went on to the Champions League. And he said, we're looking forward to it, to next season and the challenge. We've started that preparation, and when we get the draw and see who's in our group, that'll be when it really kicks in. Now, that's what we've all said, even myself, that it's still unbelievable to think about where we have finished in the Premier League, that we are playing Champions League football, the elite European competition. And Newcastle United, after 20-odd years, are going to be part of this competition again. It's very, very surreal. But like Eddie said there, when that Champions League draw is done, and we see Newcastle United's name up in lights in a group with some of Europe's elite, then it will really sink in what an achievement this season has been. And I bloody can't wait. Honestly, it's incredible. The summer we've got to look forward to, chasing down players. We're going to be linked to so many. It's going to that in itself is exciting. But the ones that come through the door are going to be even more exciting. Who will we bring in? And then, of course, the draw. As I say, in with Europe's elite. It just doesn't get any better than that, guys. It really doesn't. Us as Newcastle fans should be absolutely buzzing for this summer. I know it's a pain in the arse when there's no football, but football is going to be there. It's going to be in the background all the way through the summer because Newcastle, as Eddie has alluded there, are going to be busy. There's no doubt about that, guys. Now, on leaving a legacy at Newcastle United, and this was weird because, Eddie leaving a legacy, we don't even want to talk about Eddie Howe leaving the club yet, never mind a legacy. However, he says, I feel it's too early for anyone to talk about a legacy because I feel like we've just started. You do your work, you commit to everything you're trying to do, and your legacy will take care of itself. Now, is Eddie Howe heading for a legacy at this football club with what he's done already? Absolutely he is. But, come on, he's been here a season and a half. You can't talk about legendary status or leaving a legacy yet, and that's exactly what Eddie's saying. He's just started. And his backroom staff have just started. This season has been wonderful. But I think next season is a big challenge for Eddie because he's never managed in the Champions League before. It's a big opportunity for him, absolutely. But he knows the pressure that will be on him because Newcastle United now, they want to be at this top four table every year from now on, under these new owners. We were up there quicker than we thought we would get there, absolutely. But now we are there, the owners will want to stay there and be around the Champions League, winning trophies, etc., for the foreseeable future. Now, to leave a legacy for Eddie Howe, he knows he's going to have to win some trophies. It's been the elusive thing with big managers that have come in the past. Big names that have taken the job and have failed. You look at the likes of Hullett, you look at Allardyce, you look at, Kevin Keegan didn't win a trophy. Neither did Sir Bobby. But Sir Bobby and Keegan are in a different class because of what they actually did for the club, not necessarily winning trophies. But this is a huge opportunity for Eddie Howe to become that elite manager. And you're talking, if Newcastle win trophies over the next few years and things like that, and Eddie leaves when he eventually does, you're talking statue, you're talking legendary status. That's what we want for Eddie Howe. And the thanks that this city of Newcastle would give him would be unbelievable, guys. It would really be unbelievable. But talking about a legacy now, it's a little bit early. Let's just see where he goes in the next few years because wherever we go is going to be exciting anyway, isn't it? Now, he did talk about Garang Kuwal as well. Now, we know that Garang scored 4 hearts last week. He says, we're really pleased he scored. We're delighted for him. It's been a tough loan spell for him, but hopefully some real positivity to take into the summer. It's probably too early to be part of our first team picture next year. And I think another loan spell will do him good as he continues to develop to the pace of this league. Now, exactly what we've been speaking about on our live shows when we've brought up Garang Kuwal's name. Certainly in the Should He Stay or Go show that we did last week, we all predicted that he should go back out on loan. Now, for me, personally, and I think for a lot of people, the Championship is the best place for Garang to go. It's a tough league, but it'll make or break him. And I think that's what Eddie Howe needs to do. He needs to raise the bar a little bit now for Garang. Scotland probably wasn't the best place he could go, if we're being honest. It hasn't really worked at Hearts, which is surprising because we know there's a couple of Aussies already there to help him settle in. It just really hasn't happened. Now, I haven't seen a lot of Hearts, to be honest. I don't know how Garang's feeling about the pace of the game or anything like that. But from what Eddie says there, he still needs to get up to speed with the English game. And I think the perfect place for him to go would probably be the Championship. Now, I know we've also mentioned maybe League One, going back if Joey Barton's interested in taking him. We know what Joey did for Elliot Anderson. Could he do the same for Garang Kual? Only time will tell, but it doesn't look like he's going to be in the first team plans anytime soon. Now, finally, on shaping the squad, he says maybe one or two players might move this summer, but it's very difficult to predict. I think we have to keep the majority of the squad together. I think they've earned the right to do that, but we also have to be good in the transfer market. Now, this for me says that Eddie's ready to spend, and I think he's made other comments in other interviews that he is ready to spend, and he knows that he's got a decent budget this summer. But we also spoke about this last night on the show, talking about, would it be right to keep the majority of players who have got us into this position to give them the opportunity to play in the Champions League? I know there's no sentiment in football, okay? I know that. But at the same time, if Eddie believes that he can take these players to the next level with the addition of, 3 or 4, then who knows? We don't know what shopping list they've got. We don't know the names on there. Yes, we've been linked in the media with a few, but we don't exactly know the names. And this is where it's going to become interesting, because those names, do we have a short list? Do we have 3 or 4 on there? Do we have 6 or 7? Who knows? But I think he knows he's going to have a decent amount to spend. And as I say, for us as supporters, it is massively exciting. Huge for us. Never mind the football club. So, after this Chelsea game finishes and the Premier League ends, I think you're going to see the rumour mill properly ramp up as well. Obviously, talk about us going in for James Maddison very early in the window. Again, time will tell. But this is going to be an incredible summer, guys. It really is. No doubt about it. Now, Ivan Toney. Some information has come out today regarding his betting. Now, it's clearly visible that Ivan Toney has a betting problem. And I think a lot of the media have reported that he's an addict, and he is getting help for that. And you know what? It doesn't matter what you think of him for his betting and things like that. Obviously, we wish him well. And hopefully, we've had players in the past who've had gambling problems. You look at Keith Gillespie and players like that. It's very much up to the Premier League, the club themselves, and Ivan Toney to sort the problems out. And we wish him well. We know what gambling addiction can do to people. It can really break families, never mind people. So I'm hoping that he gets sorted out. He's got a ban, of course. He's got a huge ban. But the betting thing for me was interesting, because it came out that I think it said when he was on loan at Wigan from Newcastle, he bet on Newcastle 11 times to lose. Now, obviously, back then, we weren't exactly brilliant. I mean, I think Rafa was in charge then, but we weren't great. And, the fact that we lost a lot of games, certainly in the relegation season, it probably would have earned Ivan Toney some money, because we were terrible. But 11 times, I mean, that's a lot. It's a lot, and it's not the only club that he's bet on to lose that he's been linked with. So, I mean, look, you see this kind of thing, and you worry that, are other players involved in this? Is there other players that are struggling with gambling and things like that? Because we know that, it doesn't matter whether you're a famous footballer or not. Once you get into that, any sort of addiction, it is very hard to break. And for Ivan Toney, he's now got a battle ahead of him with gambling addiction. We've seen alcohol addiction in football, but we see it outside of football as well. And we know how hard it is. Sort of addiction, it can be classed as a mental health illness as well. There's no doubt about that. People struggle with mental health on a daily basis. I do. You know, I've put a video on this channel before of my struggles, which is still there for all to go and see. But you know what? He's got his ban now, and that's the thing. He's had his punishment, and now it's all about recovery for Toney, getting back on the football pitch and doing what he does best. Because let's face it, he's a really good striker, and he's done well to rise up the ranks. So, you know, he's got on the brink of the England squad as well. So, you know what? I wish him well. I really do, because addiction is a horrible thing. And, you know, hopefully he can sort himself out with the help of his club and, of course, the football family coming together to support players like this. But there you go. That is what Eddie Howe had to say this morning, guys. There is more transfer talk and things like that. So a lot more daily news shows will be coming and transfer shows on the channel. But if you have enjoyed today, as usual, please leave a comment and let me know what you think about what Eddie had to say, what you think about Ivan Toney. But let's try and be a bit supportive here. I know he doesn't play for Newcastle, but it's horrible for an individual to go through that. But please also don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, vitally important to the channel. And of course, if you're new, come and be part of this fabulous community on the Toon Review by hitting that subscribe button. It is free to do so. And of course, the notification bell, which will let you know when we go live or we upload any future videos. But that's it, guys. Enjoy your Friday. We'll see you very soon. Take care.